Oh man, look. Oh, let me get myself together. Let me get myself together, y'all. Oh, shucky ducky ducky. Check this out. Hey, I just heard that they indicted Diddy today. Hey, they picked him up on those charges. We're gonna get into it here in just a second. Yeah, like I was saying, I just got wind of the information that they actually picked up Diddy on the indictment. They indicted him and they arrested him and picked him up, took him into custody today. I want to know what y'all think about that. It's been a long time brewing, but the feds they have to investigate. I didn't think anything was gonna ever come of it. I really didn't. I thought they was gonna charge him. Allege, put these allegations out there just long enough to tarnish his career or actually, make him, I guess I should say, damage his reputation, and then just quietly let him go on duty. Sit up, go over there and sit down somewhere, whatever the case may be. Uh, but it seems like they found some evidence. So all that talk and all that junk that everybody was talking about when them raiding the places in Miami and California, and as well as in New York, I think they found some stuff. But I want to see what the indictment has to say or what they actually found. They probably not gonna give us a whole lot, because they still have to try him. So you're not gonna probably get a whole lot of the actually intricate details of the case, but I want to hear what they're actually trying to prosecute him on. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear that. They've been talking about this for a long time. It's been a lot of coverage. It's been a lot of coverage. It's been a lot of talk and speculation about things that was taking place. Everybody know. This dude been doing this shit for a long time. And the fact that he's been getting away with it for such a long time, that lets me know that it's more than him involved. And even with them, you know, raiding his houses, doing the raids and investigating him and all that, people was just trying to be super quiet about it. That means there's a whole lot of people involved. So it's gonna come out. It's gonna be more people that come out that's gonna get named in this thing, that we gonna be surprised about. Because he ain't the only one. This shit didn't just start with him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't just wake up, oh, I'm Puffy Combs and I'm finna start, putting rod in these people back. Nah, he ain't just started doing that. He's been groomed to do that. And if, somebody groomed him to do it, and somebody allowed him to do it, and he's been doing it for a long period of time, man. That's what's sad about it. That it took so long for them to actually, get to this point. But uh we're gonna cover it. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna hear what they got to say.
Tonight, disgraced mogul Sean Diddy Combs still behind bars, held without bail, pleading not guilty to explosive charges, sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
What's up, New York?
A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York.
The once celebrated rapper was arrested by federal agents Monday night at the Park Hyatt Hotel in New York City. At the center of those charges, alleged freak-offs or sex performances that authorities claim were planned and recorded.
A word that has come up in this story, freak-off, what is that?
It is him having like sex workers or whoever come in and have sex with his partner, whoever it is, while he watches or participates or whatever. Yeah.
The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways.
Sean Combs entered court, and when he first walked through the doors in the company of the U.S. Marshals, he didn't have any handcuffs on. He did look a little bit stunned as he surveyed the imposing federal courtroom. The only words Sean Combs uttered during the entire hearing were the words, "not guilty."
He came in there calm because he think that them lawyers is gonna actually get him off. You know, that he probably gonna get off. That's the reason why he came in, you know, no handcuffs. There's some deals being made or there's some things that's being said. I know he trying to work his way out of it, or actually trying to get the charges reduced, whatever they are. But that's the reason why he chilled. He like, man, look, he been chilling for all this long time. And he like, shit, I ain't finna change my energy. I'm gonna keep doing the same thing I've been doing. Shit, I'm saying I'm not guilty. I'm just gonna chill and I'm gonna let y'all do what y'all do. And if you got something, you got something. And if you don't, then you don't. But, you know, if y'all know Puffy like I know Puffy, meaning that y'all been following his career, you know he's a flashy, you know, and he like to talk all this shit. But it's gonna come out. But we just gonna see what they're gonna say and how this court is gonna play out.
Otherwise, he was nearly motionless, looking in large part straight ahead unless he had to directly talk to his lawyer.
We're appealing the decision to hold him without bail.
Combs' attorney denying all allegations and saying his client will fight the charges in court. Seen here in one of the last public appearances before his arrest, the 54-year-old greeting fans in the streets of his hometown in New York.
How's your dad doing?
His children seen in court today, supporting their father along with Combs' sister.
Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence.
Federal authorities have been investigating the rapper for nearly a year, simultaneously raiding his home in Miami and Los Angeles this past March.
When the federal agents went in, they had their guns trained on some of Diddy's children. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo said in court that that was a little scary for everybody involved, and it made Diddy want to cooperate. He was, almost as the lawyer described it, scared straight by that raid.
So it took for them to come in the house with guns for him to be scared. Man, that's some bullshit. That nigga wasn't scared. He just thought that shit was never gonna come to him, come to his doorstep. He just thought that he was so powerful and that he had so many people behind him supporting that shit that he wasn't gonna get caught up in it. So that's the reason why he was like, you know, whatever. Talking about scared straight. That motherfucker ain't scared. And he got guns. How you gonna be scared of guns when you already got guns? Come on, man. Get off that.
According to the indictment, law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant.
They found a number of AK-47s, a drum barrel that's used to input large amounts of ammunition into a gun like that, multiple videos that we assume are associated with sex trafficking.
The indictment, just the latest in the stunning fall from grace for the rapper, who was once at the pinnacle of pop culture.
Sean Combs really represents how far your dream can go. And I think that his journey in a lot of ways represented that for a number of people. I think it's really hard for people because he was such, you know, like a bright light, like a shining star in the culture. And now what do you do with all of that?
One of the most influential figures in American music, an architect of modern hip-hop and R&B, who helped bring the genres to mainstream, consistently topping the charts with hits like Mo Money, Mo Problems, and I'll Be Missing You.
Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. I got a lot of things coming, but I gotta go now. Thank you very much.
He's a multi-million-dollar mega brand.
The man who launched so many careers and made Biggie an even bigger star.
You gotta come up in your waist, please don't shoot up the place. Wow.
The gatekeeper to one of Hollywood's hottest parties.
This is a guy who's dating J-Lo, fashion, alcohol, TV shows, political campaigns, vote or die. This is one of the most famous people in America over the last half century. That is not hyperbole. Sean Combs is irreplaceable to American pop culture.
Now all crashing down. Officials say that since 2008, Combs had engaged in crimes including forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice, all to take part in numerous freak-offs.
The Southern District of New York actually defines these freak-offs as elaborate, produced sex performances that Sean Combs would orchestrate, masturbate to, and even record for his own pleasure.
The freak-off. That dude is sick. That dude's sick. But check this out. We all knew he been sick. We knew he been sick. That ain't nothing new. The thing is, if you go back and listen to what the guy just said, this shit been happening for a long time. Numerous, right? And he been recording this shit. So he actually would record the shit, hang it over their heads, right? And I guess coerce them to keep doing the shit, threatening them. So, you know, man, I am gonna follow this as closely as I can because I'm curious to see, or when the names start to come out of all the people that's involved in this, that's been caught up, and the video is gonna leak. You know the videos are gonna leak. They're not gonna be able to contain all that, and they're gonna leak that shit on purpose, right? Intentionally. I feel that they're just gonna get out, and man, when them videos start surfacing, man, it's gonna be crazy. You know, you can look at, man, like I said, he always been kind of, you know, funny looking to me. But hey, he's Puffy. I wonder how he got his name Puffy. Can anybody tell me that? I wonder how he got the name Puffy. Probably was a little bratty kid when he was little, and he probably used to be, you know, he huff and puff or have his face all swole up when he don't get his way. According to what they say, that's how he do. He get mad when he don't get his way. You know what I'm saying? And I guess he have to resort to violence or extortion or whatever it is. But let's continue what they got.
Off sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
According to the indictment, Combs manipulated women into participating in these sessions with male sex workers and also ensured participation by controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, and threatening to cut off the same, using intimidation and violence.
To the defense, this was not any kind of sexual depravity or debauchery as alleged, but consenting adults showing intimacy.
The federal government is saying that this is a criminal enterprise, that this isn't just a crime perpetuated by one individual, but that a whole organization needed to work around this, not only in creating these freak-offs and these parties and these filming, but also to hide it from the public and law enforcement.
The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers.
He had a whole operation going on. So it's just bigger than Puffy. Like I said, it's going to be more stuff come out, man. It's going to be so many people that's involved in this crap. You know what I'm saying? That's going to come out. And then the victims. They hadn't even started, a lot of them hadn't even started coming forward. You know, they talking about women. Nigga, it's been a whole lot of men that got that rod put in their backside behind Puffy. You know, and I'm sitting here, I could tell you, you know, you can just look at some of the people that's been, Lil Rod and came out in public and said he didn't had that rod put in his backside or been fondled with, tampered with, touched on, rubbed on or whatever. You know, he also named Stevie J. You know, so Stevie J probably had that rod put in his backside. Man, that's crazy, dude. And then it's like over the months of this coming to light about him being investigated, there are a whole lot of people that they're suspect of. Meek Mills. You know, they got Meek Mills is in rumored to have some sort of involvement with Puffy. Shit, Usher. This shit go all the way back. It's probably so many people that's involved with this, man, or been a part of it. You know, and you hear everybody, you see how the coverage over the last few months that it's been coming, everybody been there. Everybody been to the freak off. All of them been to the freak off. Some was smart enough to leave before it got to the level of freakiness, and then some stayed. You can go back and just cover it. Go back and look up Puffy over the Puff investigation of what they're accusing him of, and just go back. You hear all the names that came out, named, faced, people admitting to going to the Diddy party, bragging about, you know, how lavish it was. Now, they did say the beginning of the party was like off the chart. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, the parties, the Diddy parties, off the chain. You know, but it was that after shit that was going on after, after the party, the after party. That's what was happening. That's when it was getting down to the nitty gritty. It was a whole lot of freaky shit going on. Freaky ass nigga, you're 69 guys.
This investigation followed a lawsuit filed last November by his former girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, better known as Cassie, that claims she was a victim of a pattern of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking by Combs. At the time, Combs denied all wrongdoing and said that settling was not an admission of guilt. Then, this disturbing video.
We're going to begin tonight with the alarming images now emerging of Sean Diddy Combs.
The new video obtained exclusively by CNN.
Diddy's flying through the hallway of this hotel, and he's so brutal. And Cassie is so small and just appears to be so broken. Like, there's a point where she just stays on the ground.
It's so difficult to reflect on.
Combs acknowledged his assault of Cassie in a message posted on Instagram days after the video surfaced.
I was up. I hit rock bottom.
This nigga lying.
But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Your behavior, period, is inexcusable. This shit you've been getting away with or allowed to get away with for so years, they gonna lock your motherfucking ass up. But anyway, look at this motherfucker. And the only reason why he came out is because he had talked to his lawyers, or he had found out that he thought that, well, no, I ain't gonna say that in which he was admitting to now, they couldn't prosecute him on that because of the statute of limitations. That's the only reason why he made that bullshit ass video. And look like he on vacation right now. I hit rock bottom and I accept full responsibility. Well, accept full responsibility for this shit, nigga, because they damn sure finna put it in your ass. No Diddy.
I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Cassie was not named in the new indictment, but that video references evidence of Combs' alleged control over his victims.
Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair.
Cassie is sweet. She's quiet. She's kind. She's a good person.
How's she doing?
She's okay. You can see what's going on. She's getting through.
Tiffany Red met Cassie in 2015 when she was hired to work on her album. By then, Cassie had been romantically involved with Combs for almost a decade. Together, they released hits like Me and You. Tiffany says she saw a much darker side to Combs. She was there the night of Cassie's 29th birthday party in 2015.
In Cassie's lawsuit, it said that Diddy supplied her and sex workers with drugs before and during these freak-offs. You ever personally witness Cassie under any influence?
The night of the party was a freak-off. He was saying, tell your girl she wants some birthday. That was a freak-off. That's where he was taking her. When he was cussing her out and she didn't want to go.
Since Cassie's lawsuit, at least 10 other suits have followed, according to the Southern District of New York. Combs has denied any wrongdoing in those. One of those lawsuits filed just last week by Don Richard of Danity Kane fame, whose hits like Damaged, reaching the top 10 on the Billboard charts in the early 2000s. Richard accusing Combs, her former mentor, of sexual battery, forced labor, and gender-motivated violence. An attorney for Combs called the claims, quote, false, and said, Mr. Combs is confidently standing on truth and looks forward to proving that in court. In a statement today, Richard's attorney writing, this arrest seems long overdue. It's a big, moving day for victims, but an arrest is only the beginning. May justice be delivered to Mr. Combs. We implore other accusers to come forward in solidarity and join us in this fight.
Oh, and they coming. They coming. This was the first domino to drop, right? For them to actually arrest him and charge him. And you watch behind the scenes how many people gonna start coming forward. They got a lot of people that have already testified or actually that have been interviewed to get the amount of information that they got right now. It's a whole lot of people that's not saying anything because they felt like, hey, until they arrest him, I ain't finna say nothing. Just imagine all the men that's walking around there that done been a victim of Diddy. They ain't trying to go out there and say, oh yeah, man, he got me too. Oh yeah, he got me too, me too. But guess what? They gonna secretly or anonymously give their testimony. And or if they gotta be called in court, then they gonna just let it all hang out. They gonna let it all hang out. But this dude, this dude is sick, man. I just want to know this though. Tell me this, fellas. You dating a beautiful woman like Cassie, J-Lo, Kim Porter, any of those women. That's your woman. That's yours. How you gonna mentally allow yourself, your woman, to be pimp your woman out? Now now I don't know how he really felt about him. Maybe he just, wasn't emotionally tied to him. Okay, I get it. If you're not emotionally tied to somebody, I'm quite sure that can happen. But I'm just saying, if this is yours, your woman that you got feelings for, you dealing with, and y'all trying to have something, you just gonna let her go and be with random people? That's sick. That is sick, man. I know I ain't finna do that shit. I don't even want nobody looking at anything of mine too hard, let alone touching it and doing all it. Man, look him, bro. This dude, man. Y'all better go ahead. They better do something with him, man. They better go ahead and lock his ass up, put him where he need to be. Don't take him off the streets and keep him out of society, man. I hate that it's like that, man. But dude, that's some fucked up shit. And then, like I said, for so long, ain't no telling how many people he'd have been doing it. He was with Cassie for a decade. And then I know he was with Kim Porter for a long and got kids. So ain't no telling, but she's no longer with us, rest in peace. Ain't no telling what kind of stories that the dude that could come out behind this man.
For now, Combs remains behind bars awaiting an appeal. He could face life in prison if convicted on all 3 charges. Federal prosecutors saying this indictment is only the beginning.
Well, anything is possible, and we are committed to making sure that justice is done.
So y'all see that, right? That's a whole lot to take in, man. That's a whole lot. Now he been running around here doing that, and like I said, I got a feeling this is, and I really believe that. I think that he was gonna end up having to turn himself in anyway, but I think that he only did it, and it was so calm because he figured like, okay, I go in, I do the process of, turning myself in and going in and seeing the judge, and then we'll just post bail, and then I'm gonna dip. That's what he thought. And that's probably what he's thinking, but I guarantee they better not let him out of jail. They better not let him out of custody, because if he gets out of custody, right, he out of here. He out of here. Good luck with trying to catch him, because he gone. He got enough money to just keep living the way he living, just like Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons got the fuck up out of here too. I'm sorry, y'all got to excuse my French. I'm just being myself. So if that's too damaging for your ears, I'm sorry. I'm grown, I cuss. That's what I do. God forgive me. But yeah, man, if he gets out, he out of here. So they can't let him out of there, man. I think that's why they didn't allow him to post bail. But he thought he was gonna be able to go in and just post bail and get out. But I guess that was a whole different story. So, hey, if you like what you're hearing, man, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna try to keep bringing some more updates on this. I'm gonna try to follow this trial closely when they do start having more coverage of it. So, again, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.